Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to take a look at the ODEN. I think this is probably the most underrated gun right now in Warzone. It has an incredible damage. When you actually build that best class setup, it stacks up very well against a lot of the other top ARs in Warzone. So, in today's video, we're going to take a look at the time to kill, comparing it versus the other top weapons, taking a look at how good the damage is on the weapon, obviously taking a look at the best two class setups for the gun because it kind of stacks differently for the long range and the more aggressive players, and then going in depth on a couple of the attachments. Obviously this has the Colossus Suppressor, which is unique to this weapon. I think it's a very unique attachment. We're going to take a very in-depth look at that and kind of compare if it's really worth using and some of the unique things about it. Then obviously, like I said, take a look at some of the unique attachments and kind of recommending them as far as telling you yes or no, are they worth using. So if this video does help you guys out in any way, you guys want to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and if you guys want to come follow the live stream, follow me on twitch.tv/Trapgod. But let's jump right into the time to kill. I think that's probably the biggest factor in what makes this gun excellent. A lot of the reason everyone used to use the Bruin was it had the best time to kill and had a very high damage. This gun to me can fill that void of where that Bruin used to be. So let's jump right into that. So what we're taking a look at right now is the time to kill on the screen. The one gun that matters most on here compared to is the Kilo. It's obviously the most popular weapon. We're also comparing it to is the M13. The M13 is the most similar, and it only has one range and it has a very fast time to kill at that max range, which it competes the most against the Odin. So this class setup right here, or this breakdown, is obviously with the Colossus Suppressor and the long barrel. You guys can see the base range, which is just the base, is 83 meters. Now if you compare it to the Kilo, the base range of the Kilo is 49 meters. So it is 34 meters longer than the base range of the Kilo, which is amazing. This gun has incredible range. Like I said, the damage of it is insane. So you actually take a look, obviously the base time to kill all up to your 80 meters. It kills faster than the Kilo at every single range, at point blank, at 10 meters, 20 meters, all up to 80 meters. It's going to kill faster than the Kilo. And obviously where the Kilo and the M13 both drop off, obviously it has a massive gap. Anywhere above like that 50 meter mark is where it's going to excel, obviously at the long range. And you can see the biggest factor at that max range where the Kilo drops all the way off, kills in a whole second, and obviously the Odin kills in almost 300 milliseconds faster, which is an incredible difference. It's a massive difference. You 100% notice. And like I said, with it having only one damage range, the time to kill is probably the best factor. Why I want to talk about it up front. Like I said, the best thing about it is the damage. The damage is incredible. So the thing I want to talk about most is the damage per mag, which each class setup, with obviously the Kilo, M4, M13 running 60 round mags, same with the Grau. With this gun only having 25 and 30 round mags, it still dominates. So when you take a look at the base range, you take just like your base 40 meters, you guys can see it does the most damage even with only 30 rounds. It has half the ammo, but does 1,860 damage. So it does about 200 more damage than the Kilo, about 400 more than the M13, which is huge. And when you take a look at that range where you take those other two guns, they drop off, you switch that to about the 60 meter mark, you guys can see it does 500 more damage from 60 meters plus than that of the Kilo. So that's where it's incredible. 500 damage is 2 downed enemies with only 30 rounds. Obviously you compare it to the M13, it's 700 more. That's 3 down enemies. So if you're a Kilo and M13 fan, the most accurate guns, you slap that Odin on, the accuracy is actually pretty good. It's going to be able to down 2 more players and 3 more players in the Kilo and the M13, which is incredible. You take a look at the max damage range, obviously above the 90 meters, where it drops off finally. It does somewhat compete, which obviously that max range is not really relevant, but that to me is the biggest factor. That is obviously your base time to kill. That is what I think makes this gun absolutely incredible, makes it the most unique gun, is the range is insane. Even by putting the monolith on there, it still has an excellent range. And obviously, like I said, with only having one damage range and the damage being so high, the time to kill is incredible, which is why I highly, highly recommend this gun. It's also pretty accurate. So that's the time to kill. The biggest factor with obviously that long barrel and the Colossus together, the bullet velocity is incredible. So your accuracy, which like I said is still very good, is even more increased with that bullet velocity being the number one. I found myself when I was just playing Warzone getting kills at 150, 200 meters easy because the bullet velocity was better. So that's what's best about it. So let's talk about the class setup. We're going to break down each individual class. So there's two main classes. We're going to talk about the unique attachments. All right, so we're going to quickly break down the two different class setups because it's a very basic weapon, similar to the other guns where I say they're basic. It doesn't have a lot of unique attachments. Obviously, like I said, with the Colossus suppressor, stacking with the 810 barrel is going to give you the most range. I do recommend, obviously, the Commando and the VLK if you're stacking with the range class setup. This gun is incredible at range. I was downing players from anywhere from 80 to 150 meters in Warzone, obviously, with that best long-range class. So if you want the most ammo, which is going to help you do the most damage possible, your range is the most out of any gun in the game. And even stacking the long barrel, the Commando and the VLK is going to help improve that accuracy, which I find is incredible. So this is a basic long-range class setup, pretty much the same as all the other guns. Biggest difference, obviously, is monolithic suppressor. I prefer the Colossus just because it gives you that extra 20 meters of range, but it is the worst attachment to use. I will break it down in just a second, showcase all the hidden stats and why this attachment actually sucks and will make your gun worse than it will make your gun better, in my opinion. So when you take a look at obviously taking that off, you're going for the best close range class setup. This gun has a fast time to kill still, so I do recommend obviously running the close range class setup. Obviously take off the Colossus because your range is not as important. This gun still has incredible range. Swap that VLK for the tac laser to help improve your stability and obviously improve your ADS, which you're going to lose with all the other attachments. With this gun having a high damage, you want to be the most accurate possible. So by stacking the tac lasers and the Commando, your stability is incredible. So the ability to hit your first shot is very, very good. The biggest factor here is we're going for a more aggressive class. The 30 and 25 round mag, the biggest difference in movement speed is actually pretty big, about 2.5%, which you will notice with the 25 round mag. Movement speed is a very minimal loss, almost 0%. So obviously stacking it on there is going to help our movement speed be a little bit faster. Tac lasers helps our ADS faster. This is the aggressive class setup if you want to get a lot of kills. If you guys saw Swag's recent video of him dropping 40, he actually used the Odin, and I thought I'd upload a video because I love this gun. I think it's incredible. It's still amazing. That is obviously what I think is the best class setup for rushing. I really like this gun. But like I said, with that Colossus suppressor here, you guys can see the cons and the pros. So one of the pros it claims is it does improve your recoil. You guys can see on the screen right now. This is the actual recoil pattern. You guys, I'll have the text on there for each individual one. So what I have is the base. We have the 810 long barrel, and then the Colossus suppressor is the third one from the left. You guys can see the recoil pattern is actually worse. And if you even stack it with the 810, which is supposed to make your recoil control twice as good, the recoil pattern is actually a little bit worse than the 810 barrel by itself. So the biggest factor with that Colossus suppressor is it claims your recoil isn't changed. It's actually worse. And the second biggest factor, obviously with it being a long barrel, quote unquote, it does make your movement speed worse and it makes your stray speed worse, which obviously the 810 barrel does that. So by stacking those two together, it 100% lowers your mobility like by a long shot. So your mobility goes down, your stray speed goes down, your movement speed goes down. The recoil is a lie, so you get improved range and a silencer, which is only positives. Your negatives, your ADS is worse, your movement speed's worse, your stray speed's worse, and your walking steadiness is worse, and your hip fire is worse. So it has the same thing as the monolithic suppressor with a little bit more range, but 5 negatives. And the biggest factor you guys will see, I'll play a little video clip on the screen. The aim walking steadiness loss you get is absolutely horrendous. Your aim walking steadiness is what helps you track players and helps your reticle to stay on that guy while you're ADSing and moving. With the aim walking steadiness, you guys will see the base versus the Colossus. It is completely terrible. With the monolithic suppressor, it's not even noticeable at all, but with the Colossus, I had to test it out, it 100% makes your steadiness worse, which I recently uploaded a video on tactics about how good it was, obviously. So you have 5 big negatives for a massive increase in your range, and that's it. No improved recoil, actually makes your recoil a little bit worse. It might be 6 negatives. So 100% recommend avoiding it. If you're putting that best class up in there, which you're going with long range, you could definitely try the monolithic. It's going to have the same difference. It's just the difference with the monolithic is your range is not going to be 20 meters longer. It's going to be 63 instead of 83. But that's basically the big difference. I really 100% recommend avoiding it. I want to say this in the beginning of the video if you guys are watching it, because this is the biggest clickbait, probably the worst attachment with Cold War dropping, and they actually supposedly changed Gunsmith to start showing the hidden stats. This is the one, probably the worst attachment I've seen, with like 6 cons and only 2 positives, which obviously doesn't show on the screen here. So that's basically it. Next thing to talk about, we're going to take a look at, obviously, is that Commando versus the Ranger. And this is once again another huge factor I noticed is with the Commando and the Ranger. You guys will see the recoil patterns on the screen. I found no difference. The biggest factor is once I finally stacked the VLK on there, and then I put the Commando and the Ranger and tested it out. The Ranger actually had a little bit better recoil pattern than the Commando, but obviously VLK Ranger together is going to lower your ADS massively, so I don't recommend it. But for me personally, with this having a low mobility, low ADS, low straight speed, low movement speed, I recommend the Commando because it doesn't do as bad a damage, and it does improve your stabilization, which I think helps with this gun. So I prefer the Commando. I'm not really ever going to use the Ranger just due to having a low ADS. That's the biggest factor. And like I said, with the ammunition, you have the 25 and the 30 round mag. In multiplayer, the 25 round mag is better. Obviously, you're going to kill players faster, and it has a little bit more starting ammo. You have a 0.5% slower movement speed with a 25 round mag, and you have a 3% slower movement speed with a 30 round mag, which has a massive effect. 2.5% is 100% noticeable. So I personally, almost every class that I've been using the 25 round mag just have a little bit more movement speed, which is obviously where this gun sucks. So, and like I said, with that VLK sight, you definitely want to improve that recoil. I definitely think it definitely 100% helps. You guys will see the recoil on the screen right now. It 100% helps. I think the VLK is the best attachment you are not using in Warzone. Improves your range. With this gun having the long range, definitely is going to help out. Probably the best attachment to use on it. And obviously, you guys know, with that tack laser, improves your steadiness and your stability and your aim down sight. 3 major positives this gun's 100% needs. So if anything, you want to try a class setup, you could even try running with no ammo. Running like this class setup, I definitely would recommend. But kind of a simple video. I apologize for not having any gameplay besides in the very beginning, because this gun's more just something you want to go in depth on the attachments on. But hopefully this video helps you build a better class setup. Hopefully you guys try out the ODEN. Like I said, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel down below if you guys are new and enjoy the content. Cold War beta comes out soon. We're grinding for it. So if you guys have not followed my live stream, twitch.tv/Trapgod. Please come follow the live stream. We live stream as much as possible. Trying to grind and become a full-time streamer and YouTuber again. So if you guys want to support the channel, go follow me on Twitch at Trapgod. Make sure you guys use my discount code you guys can see on the screen. Use code Trapgod on GFUEL and Scuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you.